Alright, we're going to take a look now at Ellie's butterfly. And if we take a look at this, we're going to zoom in a little bit. I like to see how much power she gets out of that second kick. That's usually one of the first things that I look at. One thing that I notice about her is she is lifting up awfully high. She's got good shoulder flexibility, so she can get away with doing that. Look at how nice she can keep her head down right there and bring those arms around and lay them in right there. What I see right here, though, see how high she comes up? And you're going to see this very effectively on the underwater. When she lifts up like that, what it does is it takes away from that good second kick that she's got. So you really see a difference between the strokes where she takes a breath and the strokes where she doesn't take a breath. It goes slow. We can see when she takes a breath, look how high up out of the water she comes. Okay. What I want to do is I want to switch over and see if we can draw a little line just to get a sense of how high she is coming out of the water. Okay. And if we follow with her, and they raise the camera so it's not exactly the same. But notice the difference now, how much lower she is when she takes that stroke without a breath. Now when you think about how high you have to lift your head in order to take a breath, it definitely isn't this high. It certainly needs to be a little bit higher than that. It's got to be someplace in the middle. But here's what happens. When you come up to take this breath right here, it actually starts right there with your arms. See how your arms are pressing the water down like that? They're trying to get your head to come up. Well, what happens is when you press down like that, the other thing that goes down, as your chest rises, your hips fall. Okay, that's going to cause your knees to bend right there. And once you got that knee bend in there, we're not going to see the power out of that second kick. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to see you not lift that head, just get it enough to clear the water, take a quick breath, and then get it right back in the water. I wouldn't even worry about too much about what you're trying to do. I just try to get it back quickly. That's going to allow you to get your hips up on top of the water. That's going to allow you to push through. You can actually saw a good example there of the knee bend that we were talking about. You can see if we come up, here comes the breath, and right in there you can see the knee bend like that. Okay. You got good feel for the water. You got good extension. What you notice here, there's the knee bend. What you do notice is that when you come up this high, you're going to get very fatigued very quickly. Okay, so you're going to be right now good 25, good 50-yard butterfly. But if you keep going like this, you're going to start to lose a lot of momentum. You're going to lose a lot of speed because you're doing so much work to go up this way with your upper body. What we want to do is we want to take all your energy and get it so that it's moving that direction throughout the pool. But with a good feel for the water and a good kick to begin with, you're going to have a good butterfly. Let's take a look at it underwater now. Alright, we're going to take a look here at Ellie's breaststroke, or is this Ellie's butterfly, I should say. And what's funny is if you look at a still between these strokes, it's oftentimes tough to tell the difference between the two. What I would like to see is if you can get on your side a little bit more. Right now you can see you're pretty flat in the water. Okay, actually if I use an arrow you can see this direction is where we want you to go. But if I'm looking at you straight on, what we're going to see is like this. If we can get you to get a little bit of an angle, somewhere around there, with one shoulder, well, I need a circle there, one shoulder a little bit higher than the other shoulder, then what happens is you get a little bit more on your up kick, so you're able to kick up and down as you go throughout. I do like how the kick initiates from the chest. That's good. We got a little bit of a shaky camera person here. Let's see if we can get them straightened out. I like this because you're finishing your stroke, you got good shoulder flexibility, and you're driving. Second kick looks fairly prevalent. That's good. What I do think is we come back here and look is that we can get you to get your hand. You know what? What happens here is you've got these big, long, skinny arms, and you're able to pull, pull, pull with them. And what happens is that as you pull with a fairly straight arm, it's going to lift you up, or it's going to cause you to do what's happening right here is bend your elbows and drop your elbows a little bit more. So what I'd like to see you do is be able to get those hands down deep early on in the stroke, catch the water, and then press with those hands and keep those elbows up as high as you can. As we go into this wall here, we're going to take a look at your kicks coming off the wall. And I think you can hold on to that streamline even a little bit more than that. Remember, this is a pretty quick part of the race. Here you can see your elbows or your shoulders are level with one another. if we can get one shoulder up a little bit and the other shoulder down just a little bit, and we're only talking about a difference of an inch or two, you're going to be able to get a little bit more on the up kick. Right now you can see you got a good down kick, but the up kick can use a little bit of work. For the most part, keep this going in slow-mo. Like what we're seeing here, actually you can see right now you're getting a better catch. Here's what I'm talking about pressing with straight arm. Now what we want to do is get those hands down before the elbows. Right there is where you can see the elbows begin to drop a little bit. Second kick can use a little bit of strength. You can see as you're recovering your hands over top of the water, we get a lot of knee bend right here. When you've got this kind of knee bend, you're not able to generate much power from your thighs. Okay, remember that. Power comes from the hips right there. So if we can get you to maintain those legs a little bit stronger, what's going to happen is it's going to press your hips up on top of the surface of the water a little bit easier. It's actually going to make it easier for you to recover those hands over top of the water, and it's going to make longer butterfly events much easier for you. You can tell you're not getting a whole lot out of that second kick because you do come up to breathe, and when you breathe you take that big knee bend, and that's where you lose a lot of power. At that point in time, your knees are being used to keep you on the surface of the water, not propel you down to the other end of the pool.